love it. The calls.
You'll eventually get the 20% back. That Silver Connect card is going to pay her co-payments. Remicade, I believe, is an injectable, and her hospitalization co-payments. And tell them to turn his Part B on. There we go. It's time to rock and roll. Producer Tom gives me the cue. Got producer Nick in the studio today. Everyone's looking good. Woo! All right. Today is the 26th of April. Man, this month is flying by. I am lucky enough to have my friend and colleague, Colleen P. O'Neill, with Westport Family Therapy. She's a clinical social worker in the studio today. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for asking, Michael.
Good. All right. So, to be honest with you, the reason Colleen is here is she's intelligent. She actually goes to my seminars for her parents. Sits there, HIPAA compliant as heck. So I've reached out to her actually. Today, my listeners, and this is the Good Times Oldies radio station, so my seniors, you are going to listen to an intelligent woman, Masters of Social Work and Masters of Education. She's going to tell you tips on dating, tips on staying active, keeping your head in the game, not getting depressed. There's a lot of pollen and allergies and changing in the seasons. So we want to make sure we stay on top of you and make sure you stay on top of yourself. Getting your wellness checkups, getting your head checked up. Colleen, what's a basic scenario? What do you do? Who do you work for? How can you help my listeners?
Well, I'm down in Westport, Connecticut, and I have a business called Westport Family Therapy, and I see adults, families, children, and I see clients who are aging as well. Aren't we all? And those of us who are in the aging population, I come across a lot of people who are getting up there and are looking at either single living or couples who are empty nesters now looking in retirement years and what to do with their time, how to spend their time as a couple. Some who are divorcing in their older years.
It's a shame.
It is.
All right, so those are going to be our topics today. I'm not sure how long we're going to have Colleen in the studio, but you're welcome to stay the whole hour. But I know you have another appointment down in the Westport area. Okay, so we're going to do our Mattatuck Minute. We have the Mattatuck Museum on line 1. Michael Regan, good afternoon.
Hey, Mike, it's Stephanie. How are you?
Stephanie, woo! What's happening, my friend?
Lots of stuff here at the museum going on, Mike.
All right, so the Mattatuck Minute, sorry it's on a Thursday today, by the way. I got bumped because of the cupcake wars going on tonight for scholarship funds for the local high schools. So I'm glad you were able to adjust your schedule for us.
Okay.
First of all, let me give you a compliment. It's really been working. People come up to me in society and say, hey, heard you on the radio, heard about the Mattatuck, went to the first Thursday. I mean, it's just great. What do you have on the agenda and how you been?
Well, we've got a lot of programming coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
And before we go too far, I also want to let you know that I'm here with our new colleague. Her name is Stephanie Avusturk.
Avusturk, how are you?
What's that?
Is that Stephanie with a Y?
Yes.
Okay, so we have Stephanie H and Stephanie Y. Cool, that's cool. Couple Stephanies over there. Bob's doing some good work.
Absolutely. We're teaming up over here.
All right, so Stephanie, do you want to introduce yourself to the community?
Oh, hi. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for having us.
My pleasure.
Yes, I'm new on the Mattatuck team over here, and we're very excited because it's an exciting time with the expanded mission and the new leadership of Bob Burns.
Right.
So a lot of transition is taking place in the next few years, and I encourage your listeners to take note, start visiting us, and watch our progress on site, online, and beyond. We're trying to expand our name recognition and encourage visits from art enthusiasts around the state, as well as New England and New York. And we want to expand our programming and attempt some things that aren't being done in the region right now so people can start rediscovering us and we can grow our membership that way.
Yeah, well done. Well stated. That's what we need. We need to grow our membership, but we want to do it in a way that they don't just join out of obligation. They join for interest in our museum, in our fantastic programs. How did you start on Monday? How long have you been with us?
Oh, I just started on Monday, so
Excellent.
we're just hearing new things, learning the ropes, and just lots of meetings and thinking, how we're going to be competitive and how we're going to be important to Waterbury and to the region, to the arts community in the state. And we're just redefining, repositioning, and we're going to come out and reintroduce ourselves. So
Right.
stay tuned. So
Well, we've always been great.
fun?
We're just tweaking some things. We're getting in some new blood. First of all, I was lucky enough to be in on the interview. You knocked it out of the park. I mean, it was such a decision. We couldn't make a decision on one person. So it's great that you're with us. You've got a great team to work with. Stephanie Harris and I have been doing this for about 6 to 8 months now. Stephanie, what do we have going as far as happenings at the museum?
Well, this weekend on Sunday, we've got 2 events happening. We've got a Jewish cemetery tour happening in the cemeteries over by the Walmart in Waterbury.
Okay.
Marie and Gary Broder are going to take participants through there and talk about residents of note in the different cemeteries and why they're there and the significance behind them. So that should be really interesting. We really encourage our Jewish community to participate and learn a little bit about what's over there.
We've got a fantastic Jewish community in the area. We've got the Jewish Fed in Southbury. Good personal friends of mine, Larry and Judith Brownstein. Their dad, Jack Brownstein, founded an educational endowment over at the Jewish community. We've got a fantastic Jewish community around here.
Absolutely. We're working with
smart,
the Beth El
intelligent,
Synagogue and the
hardworking
Jewish
people.
Federation on this program.
Excellent. And what else? What else is happening?
But also on Sunday, we've got the Waterbury Chorale coming in. As you know, the exhibit in the community gallery right now is on the Waterbury Chorale's 45 years of excellence. So we've got a celebration for them on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock, and they'll actually be performing around 3:30.
So Sunday looks packed for you.
Absolutely. We've got a full day worth of community programming.
And is everyone up and running? You're going to be all working on this weekend?
Some of us will be, but we're gearing up for the first Thursday next week and a welcome reception for Bob. So
that's May 2nd.
yeah.
That's going to be a who's who. I was lucky enough to catch an invitation to that. It seems like it's the right thing to do. We're going to come out, maybe enjoy a nice fine glass of wine, and shake some hands and meet our excellent director.
Yeah, and all of the staff will be there, so the community will have the opportunity to meet Eloise and Stephanie as well.
And just to give Webster Bank a plug, that's being underwritten by Webster Bank, so thank you very much for all your generosity to the community.
Absolutely. Thanks.
All right. Stephanie and Stephanie, have a great day, ladies. Good to hear your voices.
You too. Good luck tonight with your cupcake.
Aha, the cupcake wars. All right.
See you later.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye-bye. See you, ladies. I am not a chef. I used to be a chef on Block Island, but basically I was a screamed-at line cook, dishwasher who worked his way up to a line cook. By no means a culinary artist, so don't count on my cupcakes being great. Honestly, I got to tell you the truth. I've spent hundreds of dollars on ingredients. I was up to 1 o'clock last night. It's a lot harder than it looks. It really, the Sweet Marias, whew, you guys are talented artists. All right, so enough about me. Colleen P. O'Neill is in the studio. I hope we're going to get some calls because this is something I want to bring to the table. I'm going to probably have you on as a guest at least once a quarter because...
Be great.
Excuse me. Still nursing the pneumonia and bronchitis, by the way. But I'm getting better. And the show must go on, so nobody likes a baby. All right. People out there listening, this is not a joke. We know it's happening. Please listen to Colleen. What can she do to bring to the table better for you out there? Unfortunately, men are jerks. There's single relationships happening. I hear my clients getting divorced late into their 60s. I mean, what are you doing? You've been through your entire life with this person. women, I would never call you jerks, but hopefully you're not leaving your husbands. Hopefully we're the ones to blame all the time. But what can you do to help my community out there?
Well, I think for those for those who are coming into therapy, you're going to find typically more women coming into therapy than you're going to find men typically coming into therapy. So typically I see more women. So those coming in are going to be looking for services, being left. One, they're empty nesters completely now. The children are gone, moved away. For those who are lucky enough to have children and grandchildren in the area.
Like you and your fantastic sister.
Yes. I mean,
yes. You're incredible.
We're great to our parents. We visit them all the time, but we know not everybody's that lucky to have their family in the area. And so it can be even more lonely and more devastating for women or men to be alone without their kids around or grandchildren around to fill up that time. So then you have to go on to plan B about, do you want a partner again? Do you want a companion? Do you want to get married again? How do you even approach dating? For those of us who are in their 30s, 40s, whatever, 50s, it's online. Well, people who are older sometimes don't even know how to turn on a computer, how to go on that. What is Match.com? What is dating? What is senior dating? What is all that? So sometimes I'll bring in an adult child to say, hey, your mom or your dad is interested in some dating, and here's some online services. If someone doesn't want to go down that particular route, there's volunteer opportunities.
To just get yourself
out there, back in the community where there's situations to meet people.
All right. So out there listening, please don't say your name for HIPAA reasons, but call in. We have Colleen in the studio, 203-757-1320. Ask her questions. Not every person out there is perfectly happy going to the Y every day, getting a good workout, dating. If you have a couple psychological issues, please call in. Now, not even talking about making love, but just the companionship is important, right?
Right.
The seniors, they need somebody just as much as we need somebody. And,
absolutely.
And you and I are the same age, so
yes.
I'm luckily very happily married. I have a beautiful wife and twins. But I can pick on my dad for HIPAA reasons because I'm allowed to, because it's my dad. He lost his wife at age 71. Mm-hmm. They were married for 50 years.
Wow.
I can't lie to you. The guy is wasting away on us. He has lost weight. He doesn't look that great. He's pale. Still pretty vibrant and active, but you can definitely see a significant difference since he lost my mom.
Right.
It's sad.
Well, statistically, most men, after a divorce or loss of a partner, will marry or find companionship more quickly, within a year, usually within a year to two, than a woman.
He hasn't even been on a date. He's been on a fake date. I guess it was a setup date, but I asked him, they didn't even kiss. And I said, well, why, Dad? He's like, I would never do that to your mother. I love my mother. I'm a mama's boy. The company's named after my mom. But the gentleman is a good-looking gentleman. He needs some companionship. Good-looking or not good-looking, heavy or skinny, or doesn't matter. You need some companionship to make yourself feel a self-worth, correct?
Oh, absolutely. You to make yourself feel whole, because in life we're not really meant to go through life alone.
All right, discuss that.
In life, we're meant to.
Adam
and Eve. We're not meant to be here alone. It does not mean you have to marry. It doesn't mean you have to live together. But going to a movie alone is not appealing.
Right.
Having a bag of popcorn, it's meant to be shared. I mean, going out to dinner, you don't necessarily think of an enjoyable meal as by yourself. Most people don't like to cook by themselves. A lot of elderly people tend to lose weight as they get older when their partner passes as well. And you were just talking about your dad.
I'm seeing it right with my own eyes.
Absolutely. Because everything is changed and life is less sweeter when you don't have a partner.
Right.
It just is.
Listeners out there, sometimes think how great it is to actually have somebody. Let the small stuff go. I've actually learned that with my wife now. If the house isn't immaculate, if it's a 90 or an 85 or an 87, that's enough. I don't need to start an argument over not a proper, military bed corner, or what do you call the,
Right.
You just have to say, okay, honey, fine. Usually it's us saying that to the wife, to be honest with you, like, yes, honey. But the lawn doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be cut, cleaned, maintained. But just appreciate each other while you have each other.
Well, it's in the moments that you look back that count. It's not in the things. It's the moments.
Where you are down in Fairfield County is where I actually started. I started cold calling on Sasko Hill Road.
Oh, yes.
I see sometimes the money creates more trouble for the couples. Because, A, they have way more access to the antidepressants with the great insurance that they buy. Thank God it's from me. But anyway, they just simply medicate themselves. And I see a lot of the affluent wives who just shop, come home, drop the bags, and literally watch television for hours and hours on hours. The husband, I wouldn't say useless, but not as caring as I would like to see. They're sometimes more wrapped up in themselves and their fame or their money. And it sort of gets to be where they're just coexisting in the home. And I'm sure you deal with that down in your area.
Well, that's you. No matter where you live, you're going to find it.
Yeah, unfortunately,
right?
I hope it's not here in our great area, but maybe we do have it.
It's found in our great area here. I grew up in Naugatuck, so it's found. But it's you find that anywhere. But that doesn't mean it has to stay that way.
Okay.
And whether you're in a marriage right now and that's not working for you as a senior couple, you can still create a better marriage in the latter parts of your lives. So if you are finding yourself right now in a partnership, in a marriage, a long-term marriage, my parents have been married 57 years.
Happily.
They're happily married. I'm sure they wouldn't say it was perfect.
People want you. All right. First of all, we have Colleen for about 5 or 6 more minutes. I know you have an appointment. We're going to take the caller on line 1. Michael Regan, thank you for calling.
It's my pleasure. I love to listen to your show, Michael, and I love that girl there. I'm looking for someone in my life. I've been praying for someone for years now.
All right, so nice and slowly. This is why I'm just changing it up a little. We don't always need to talk about Medicare and your claims. Let's talk about you. How can we help you, and what can Colleen do to help you? Nice.
I would like to have someone come into my life, and I'll do it. Like last night, I went down to do karaoke. I love to do karaoke. I was down to City Hall Cafe. And the thing of it is, I like to cook. I like to do different things, and I've been looking for someone to come in my life. And it seems like you go to the bars, and, it's just, I'd rather have someone just to be part of my life and share the tranquil years of our lives.
Okay, well, you have the expert. Go ahead.
Wow, I think that was something lovely you just said.
And it took a lot for him to call, by the way. Good job calling.
The tranquil years of your life, and that's just a beautiful sentiment you just said. And that's nice to have that you're out doing the things that you like to do, which is the karaoke and those kinds of things. And when you're out, can I ask, do you notice if there's someone out, and do you approach someone when you see them?
No, I just try to be friendly with everyone. There's not one person in the world that I dislike. I love everybody, and I try to make conversation, and sometimes they don't like to be bothered, whether it be a woman or a man or a kid or whatever it is. Like they're in a world of their own, or they're probably searching for something. But see, I like to walk on the beach, hold hands, maybe walk in the mall, steal a kiss behind a post. Beautiful, beautiful things. And women, same as men, love tender love and care, because you have to listen to one another and communicate with one another. Otherwise, there should be just disappointment.
Well, you're exactly right when you just said men and women share and want the same things, because we're all human beings when you get right down to it. And so what I would suggest to you is keep doing the things that you like to do, because you are putting yourself out there, and you're putting yourself out there in moments that you're enjoying doing. But perhaps you might notice somebody that is noticing you, and there's nothing wrong with going up to that person and just starting a conversation and trying to engage in a conversation, especially if you notice someone who's going back week after week to the same activities that you're enjoying, because right there you see a commonality. Of course, I'm going to say that there are other options too, and I'm not sure how advanced you are with, there's things like Match.com. There's on the computer. There's also SeniorMatch.com, which is for those people who are over age 50 and older. And believe it or not, there are people over 65 on the computer that are also searching. But I think what you're doing is which is great, which is putting yourself in situations for activities that you're enjoying doing.
And you know, the thing of it is, you're talking about computers. I'm still trying to learn how to dial the telephone.
I know.
Yeah, we completely
because, you know,
understand.
to me, I'm a loving, touching person, and it seems the whole world today is electronics, and there's no more communication, shaking hands or giving a hug to a person, even if you don't know them or not.
The most important thing is you've taken the first step. You're going to listen to Colleen. Try it. Now, we have you for at least another minute or two?
Oh, yeah, a couple minutes.
Give a few slowly, because these are my seniors, as you can tell. Give a couple tips. Don't come on too strong. The number one thing women don't want is to distrust you. So you need to just say, not, can I take you out or something. Just say, hi, how are you? How is your day? The way you approach somebody is the most important thing. These days, with the society we're living in, nobody trusts anybody anymore. It's a very unfortunate, I hate to say it because of Cheshire. I grew up in Cheshire, born and raised. The damn Pettit thing has wrecked everything. Nobody trusts anybody. I always think someone's out to hurt me and my family, which is terrible.
Well, as a woman,
but it's just, you're guarded. People are guarded. So one of the nicest things you can to disarm someone first is always smile.
Oh, yes, I always do that.
It gives your face something to do. It's disarming.
I always say hello and how's
and that's
things.
it. And then maybe that's it.
Because you figure if you're going to talk to a girl and you say, well, let's go out to dinner, they figure you're off for one thing.
Right. Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with making love, but that's after you've courted her and properly for 3 or 4 months held the door, brought her flowers. Do it like a gentleman, not like a bad person. Bad people rush things and it just goes to waste. If you take your time and court a woman properly, not for nothing, but they want to make love to you as much as you want to make love to them.
Amen.
They have feelings, but you need to go about it like a gentleman, like the particular class you are from. When you grew up, you always got your hair cut, you dressed properly, you ironed your clothes. These days, the pants are hanging down in the middle of their butt. They've got piercings all over. That doesn't look attractive.
And tattoos.
I can't comment on that because one of my employees has tattoos, and she's a good person. So that is a little insecurity I come to find out. It's funny. I come to find out that is a way for them to try to express themselves.
Yeah.
It's not something I would do. I'm not into that at all.
Neither am I.
But the younger generation, really, they're more into texting, and they don't communicate. I've seen at my wife and I went on a date. There was a couple sitting there at the table texting.
But not talking.
Instead of talking to each other. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you've got this opportunity. And the woman was pretty. And this guy's like got this fake tan and there's a half a gallon of gel in his hair. And he's more concerned about whoever he's talking to on the phone than the actual woman he was lucky enough to get a date with. So you go ahead, you go up to the next person. Don't give them an out. Number one tip is they always want what they can't have. So nice and slowly, just recommend something instead of giving them an answer to say no, like, can I buy you dinner? Because she can say no. All right? How about this? How about, I'm going to be at so-and-so restaurant. I'd love for you to join me for a glass of wine. So at least it'll keep a door a little open.
Absolutely.
And then maybe
it gives her the choice.
She's thinking during the week, she's a little lonely. Well, maybe I'll just go meet him. And you always be a gentleman. You pay for it. I don't care what these days. You buy the glass of wine, even if it's at La Tavola for $9 a bottle of wine, or my buddy George at the Hills. He's got nice wine, but they're tiny, tiny bit expensive. But you always pick up the tab. Another one thing, too, you must tip the bartender. Women like that. Whether it be a good-looking...
Tip.
All right, so you're on the right track. You shouldn't be single, my friend.
He's on the right track.
He's doing everything right.
I want to thank you for having that wonderful lady on there. And for you, Michael. God bless you. And
God bless.
Up the good work.
Karma. All right.
Thank you for
Appreciate
calling.
your phone call. They love you. All right. The producers are telling me it's time for a break. That's your YouTube spot. You got it.
Thank you.
We've recorded it here.
Thank you.
We'll see you in a few minutes.